So it's a very exciting day out here on the property because we're cutting timber. I say we, not me. We got a timber crew out here cutting about 30 acres of woods because we're going to be building a lake and a lodge out here over the next year or so. Today is the day that it all starts, right here on the wintering grounds at the Lost Bridge Duck Club in Arkansas. I'm Joel Strickland, and this is Surviving Duck Season. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, right now I'm standing in the location where we'll be building the lodge for our Lost Bridge Duck Club right here in Arkansas. We've spent the last several months getting this site prepared, and just in the last couple of days we're going to say we've accomplished all that we set out to as far as excavation and all the infrastructure work that we need to do, and we've still got a lot more to do. And so I want to take the opportunity to share with you what we've been doing the last several months, the things we got coming in the future, because I know a lot of you have been asking, what have you been doing there at the Lost Bridge Duck Club? So that's what we'll be doing today. It's the beginning of duck season in Arkansas, so we'll be taking some guys out on some really great duck hunts. In fact, I know many of you have been asking about how you can hunt with me here at the Lost Bridge Duck Club. Check out the website, lostbridgeduckclub.com, and we do have a few spots left for this season. When my wife and I agreed to take on this project, we didn't know how it was all going to get accomplished because we didn't know anybody in the area, so we asked God to provide for us, and that's exactly what He did. It's amazing how every time we needed something or someone, it was there for us right away. And I'm so grateful to God for providing that, but I'm also grateful for all of the very talented guys that have stepped in and helped us, the creative ideas and the know-how to be able to do all of the different work that we have on the property. It's been amazing. 1,700 acres is a lot of property. Just to give you perspective, we have over 2 miles of White River frontage. Now, while there was some new habitat created in the last several years on the property, there's still lots more to be done. In a lot of ways, this project started out as a blank slate for us. In this game, it's all about water. Holding water, getting rid of water, keeping water out, irrigating. So I began identifying the lay of the land, looking at maps and spending nearly every day on the property. I looked at the natural drainages, the way the rivers and creeks and sloughs back up onto the property, and then I developed a plan. One factor in that plan is we have a 30-year-old stand of planted pine trees. So looking at the big picture, we want to utilize that as a resource to help us create better habitat for ducks and deer. This year we decided to work on the lodge site and also create 6 new spots for waterfowl habitat. It's all part of a bigger plan that we'll be working through over the next several years. We had a lot of rain pretty much the first half of the year, and our habitat looks fantastic, but the sacrifice was we couldn't get onto the property to do a lot of the work that we needed to do as far as excavation goes until the summertime. That kind of set us back a little bit as far as what we really wanted to accomplish, but in June it was finally dry enough so we could get in here and get started clearing trees, moving dirt, and getting ready to start the lodge. Once they cut about 30 acres of pine trees, then they needed to remove the stumps. Then the dirt pans came in to start making the spot for the lake and using the spoils from that to make the pad for the lodge and the shop building. So we've got about 34 acres, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 36 acres that has been cut. The pine trees here, cut all the way back to the hardwoods. Pretty cool to dream of what it's going to look like, kind of envision what it's going to look like before it's happening. I can see it. We hired an architect to design the lodge for us. It's been an exciting process to share the vision with him and then see the results on paper. The draft version looks great in 3D, but I can hardly wait to see his artistic rendering in its final version. And while all that was going on, there's another crew working on fixing some holes in some levees and improving the roads so we can have better access onto the property. So we've got a giant pipe. I'm like 5'7", so you can tell that's a 6-foot pipe, and we're going to put that in this giant hole that we have in the creek along our levee. So we're going to put that in, be able to control the water, to keep the water out when we want to be able to hold water, you know, as basically an impoundment. And so this is going to be game changer for this property. While those projects are going on, I got another crew doing land maintenance projects like bush hogging and things like that. Grinding up that dead tree. So we've been doing a little bit of mulching on our roads, trying to clear it out a little bit, just kind of doing general maintenance because there hasn't been any done on this property in quite some time. We got some proso millet, a lot of guys call it dove millet. It's a short growing season, so we're going to put some out on this about 4.5 acres back here for a little dove field. We got some Delta Ag seed coat that we're going to add to the hopper when we dump it in. Coats the seed and gives the seed the best opportunity to get a good start. And also planting food plots for both deer and for waterfowl, of course. So we've got some golden millet seed right here. We're going to plant some Egyptian wheat, and the reason why we're doing that is it's a barrier. It's a screening. A lot of guys use it for deer. We use it for ducks. It'll enable us to have a good place to hide. It'll also help us break up this great big open, area. We also planted rice in May and June in some areas on some mud flats. I've got a hand seeder that I'm doing because I'm not sure if the bottom is going to support this machine or not. It probably will, but I don't have anybody to pull me out, so I'm not going to try it.
Dad's getting soaking wet.
It's not all concentrated in one spot though. It's just a little bit here and a little bit there along the edges, that sort of thing. There's a few too many coffee weeds coming up here. We're going to mow them down and then give the grasses and smartweed a fighting chance. It's not my goal to disc up as much area as I can and then plant it. We're not really into that. I mean, I really believe in letting the natural habitat work. Moist soil habitat is phenomenal for waterfowl. And anywhere that we can encourage the proper growth by doing some soil disturbance and some mowing and stuff like that, that will give us the grasses and the sedges, the smartweed, things like that, that's what we want the habitat to do. But then there are always some areas that it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. And so my choice is to go into those areas in our impoundments and disc those areas up and then plant them. Usually that happens in August. Most all of the impoundments have little small areas where we've planted millet. I've got some golden millet. This behind me is really incredible. It's an area that stayed wet all the way up until August and then dried up. So we immediately planted this on top and it's come off beautiful. I mean, it's belly button high on me, nice pretty heads. It's just going to be incredible habitat. I've been planting millet for many, many years. It's generally super easy and the ducks love it. I'm a really big fan of golden millet. We have a few spots that did exceptionally well. This year has been a big learning curve for me. It's also been a great teaching opportunity for our young daughter. She and my wife have spent a lot of time with me on the property. I'm really impressed that at 4 and 5 years old, my daughter can recognize lots of the good plants as well as many of the undesirable moist soil plants and call them by name. The satisfaction of seeing the hard work pay off with a beautiful stand of millet, rice, or moist soil habitat makes me feel really good, really proud. Now we're moving full speed ahead on brushing, building, and putting in duck blinds. We got a bunch to do.
That means bring this platform out so they got a good runway.
Chase is putting brush on top of the blind. We had a blind over here last year and we did okay. We shot some ducks out of it, but it just felt like that the ducks just wanted to be right here, just right out in here, and we could coax them on in a little bit closer, but they naturally want to be out here, and there's another little island like right here, and so we thought, well, let's move the blind, put it over here for this year, be kind of right on the X instead of being on the Y and a half. So we're gonna put this blind right up in here. This is the killing spot. I got the water turned on in many of our impoundments, and just today I saw the first ducks of the year on the property. So what about building the lodge? Our original plan was we were going to build phase 1 of our lodge and have it completed by Thanksgiving. That didn't happen. The very day we discovered that we were not going to be able to get it done, God revealed the perfect option for lodging. This house, it's a literal godsend. I mean, it's beautiful, it's got plenty of room for my family, plus 8 guests during duck season. It's got a great big shop and an outdoor kitchen. It's just awesome. Now, we just bought the place a few weeks ago and we've been moving in. And in fact, yesterday we moved all of our hunting gear, decoys, all that sort of thing into the shop. And so I promise, once we get everything organized and set the way we want, I'll give you a sneak peek on the inside. Lots of great things happening here at the Lost Bridge Duck Club. Now, like I said earlier, if you're interested in booking a duck hunt with me, check out the website. Also, pick up some surviving duck season merch. Now, if you missed the video where I talked about how we got the Lost Bridge Duck Club, make sure and check that one out right here. I'm Joel Strickland. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.